This presentation is by Kipo, Jimah, and Gundula Fischer. We both work with International Institute of Tropical Agriculture. The title of our presentation is The Woman Has No Right to Sell a Livestock, the Role of Gender Norms in Northern Ghana's Small Ruminant Value Chains, and Implications for Transformative Interventions. Let me add that this research is still ongoing, and what we are presenting today are preliminary results. We begin our presentation with the context in which the study was carried out and the methodology that was adopted. We then proceed with an outline of the actors involved in small ruminant value chains in our project communities. Next, we present the level of involvement of household members when it comes to selling of small ruminants, and what are the constraining gender norms that inhibit the participation of women in small ruminant value chains. We conclude our presentation with implications and recommendations. From our previous work on gender evaluations of African rising interventions, we have observed a gap in the literature when it comes to women and youth in value chains. This research, therefore, seeks to fill in the gap with regards to participation and benefits of women and youth in livestock value chain. Our research has three objectives. The first is to assess women and youth participation in and benefits from value chain activities, to capture social norms and institutions that promote or hinder equitable value chain participation and benefits, and to inform discussions and decisions on gender transformative strategies and practices that will facilitate and increase inclusiveness. The study is part of Africa Rising research. Africa Rising is a USH-funded project and is being implemented in the Upper West, Upper East, and Northern regions of Ghana. The research locations are Tibali and Duko in the Savulgu Municipal Assembly of the Northern region. The Africa Rising project implemented three small ruminant feeding interventions: a leaf stripping intervention in which farmers were supported to cultivate the staple crop maize, and during the growing season, they are able to strip the lower leaves for the feeding of small ruminants without compromising grain yield. Then a further cultivation intervention in which farmers were supported to cultivate napier grass and pigeon pea for the feeding of small ruminants. And then a feeding trough intervention in which farmers were supported to fabricate feeding troughs for use in feeding of small ruminants. Now, all three interventions were implemented in the northern region. Only feeding troughs was implemented in the Upper East region, and none was implemented in the Upper West region. For this reason, the study focused on the northern region, where the three interventions were implemented in the communities of Tibali and Duko. We used a mixed method approach. We administered a questionnaire and also held focus group interviews and individual interviews as well. Our sample comprised of beneficiary farmers of the small ruminant feeding interventions. And during our interaction with the farmers, they mentioned actors they dealt with, which included traders or butchers, feed traders, veterinary service providers, food vendors, kebab sellers, and actors who fabricated the feeding troughs for them. So in all, we interviewed 20 men, 27 women, 8 male youth, and 4 female youth, giving us a total respondents of 59. For data analysis, we use Atlas TI for qualitative data analysis and Stata for quantitative data analysis. We categorize the actors in small ruminant value chains in our project communities into 3 broad categories, and these are production, marketing and transport, and then processing and consumption. In the production node, the key actors are the livestock keepers, and they reported, beside harvesting of pasture and herding, They also buy supplementary feed to feed their small ruminants. And one of them is purchase of soya bran from women who process soya bean. Then carpenters who provide uh, fabricating services for the feed crops. They also offer veterinary services from government veterinary officers for treatment, vaccination, and education on animal husbandry practices. Then there are also veterinary drug shops that the livestock keepers can walk in, buy medication, and administer themselves to their small ruminants. Now, for the marketing and transport note, it's an area dominated by men, and the actors are traders and or butchers, and also transporters. Our respondent reported that in the Dagomba culture, trading in livestock-related activity is a male-dominated area. So a young man may attach himself to a butcher, and then with the intention of progressing to become a butcher, and from butcher to become a livestock trader. For transport, the common mode of transport is motorbikes and tricycles, and these are largely operated by men. For the processing and consumption nodes are kebab sellers who are largely male youth, then we have the household consumer and food vendors who are largely women. In between them are meat processors who are largely male youth, and they slaughter and process sheep and goats for a fee. In terms of market linkages, kebab sellers, traders or butchers, the household consumer or food vendors all buy livestock from livestock keepers. Then kebab sellers, food vendors and household consumers can also buy either live animals from traders or dressed meat from butchers. Our data show that our livestock keepers mostly do not consume the small ruminants they keep. They will only slaughter a sheep or goat when it is an outdooring, a naming ceremony, or festival. They largely keep them and sell to buy food, to pay school fees, and also to pay medical bills. On selling of small ruminants, we asked our respondents the level of involvement of household members in decision making when it comes to selling of small ruminants. And from the data, over 90% reported the male adult involvement to be very high. For female adult, almost 40% said they are not involved. And for the remaining that said they are involved, describe their involvement to be from moderate to high, and this is about 30%. For the girl child, almost 90% said they are not involved. And for the about 10% that said they're involved, describe their involvement to be low. For the boy child, almost 80% said they are not involved. About 50% describe their involvement to be moderate, 4% said their involvement is high, and about 3% said their involvement is very high. And as a man livestock keeper said, decisions regarding selling is with your wife. But if your wife's children are of age, then their mother's hand is not inside. It is between you and your male children who will make the decision. This implies female adult involvement is even temporal. Once there are male children in the house and they grow, they cease to be part of the decision making. In the previous slide, the focus was on decision to sell small ruminants. In this slide, we are looking at the level of involvement of household members in selling of small ruminants. That is either negotiating for a price or taking the small ruminant to the market to sell. And for this, almost 90% said the male adult involvement is very high. Over 90% said the female adult is not involved. For the few who said the female adult involved, said their involvement is moderate, and that's less than 10%. 100% said the girl child is not involved. For the boy child, over 60% said they are not involved when it comes to selling of small ruminants. For those who reported that they are involved, is less than 20%, and they describe their involvement to range from low to very high. And as a woman livestock keeper said, for we the Gombes, it is forbidden. We don't accept it, even if you own them and live in your own house. When you want to sell, you will have to give it to a man to sell for you. The focus of this slide is constraining gender norms, and we ask our respondents, both farmers and actors, this statement: it is acceptable for a married woman to go to the market to sell livestock. And for this statement, 93% of the men either disagree or strongly disagree with the statement. And 87% of the women also either disagree or strongly disagree with the statement. And as a man livestock keeper said, the woman cannot just catch a sheep or goat and take it to the market or call somebody to come and buy it. She cannot do that. We also asked 5 other statements. And for the 5 statements, our respondents, both farmers and actors, agreed or strongly agree with 4, but disagree or strongly disagree with 1. We asked our respondents, men are primarily responsible for earning income for the household. 61% men and 57% women agree or strongly agree with the statement. It is disrespectful for a married woman to say that she owns livestock. 61% men and 73% women agree or strongly agree. A woman cannot leave home without the permission of her husband. 82% men and 93% women agree or strongly agree with the statement. Men are primarily responsible for getting veterinary services. 86% men and 73% women agree or strongly agree with the statement. Where they disagree is when we ask, women are capable of making important decisions by themselves. For this, 89% men and 67% women disagree or strongly disagree with the statement. Women and youth not being active in marketing of small ruminants have implications with regards to the benefits for participating in small ruminant value chain. Women ownership of small ruminant could be described as blurred because a woman cannot say she owns livestock, and this have negative effect on women's social standing in the household and community. Our respondent in the 2 communities, when it came to wealth ranking, reported that the number of livestock one has is important when it comes to considering a household to be either poor, wealthy, or medium. Another implication is men largely are the decision makers on the use of livestock income, and also our respondent reported that when men sell the livestock, there's underreporting of the income. This has implications in terms of limited participation of women and youth in small ruminant marketing, and also limited control of the benefits from small ruminants. For recommendations for gender transformative interventions to enhance inclusiveness, we recommend use of community conversations to change gender norms. Community conversations entails conversing, engaging, collaborating, and casting a vision with men and women. Community conversation has led to changes in relations, changes in decision-making in household on handling and consumption of animal source food, and also ownership and control of livestock and income. Evidence has shown that it has increased harmony, trust, and collaboration in household. We will also recommend that results be communicated to farmers, traders, extension agents, policymakers, and development actors. Thank you.